up in the morning edition, an alleged child abductor arraigned, another traffic fatality recorded, and we have a fishy tale to tell you. It's a fantastic Friday here in the capital. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Morning Edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us. It's the weekend, and Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean is standing by to help you to charter your course. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDawn. That frontal trough continues to move towards the south and east, should exit the Bahamas by this afternoon, but it is generating some cloudiness in the vicinity of Inagua, also the Turks and Caicos Islands and Matutan, Inagua as well. But as we said, that will clear out, leaving behind just one or two spotty showers in the mix today. Outside of our studios, we have partly cloudy skies, temperature 72 degrees, relative humidity 88%, south-southeast winds at 6 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,015.7 millibars, 29.99 inches, and it is rising. Temperatures around the islands this morning: Marsh Harbor at 74, 73 in Greentown Key, Freeport 73 degrees, in the Berry Island 76, Allenstown Bimini 75 degrees, 76 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, Otterstown, Cat Island 74, 76 in Staniel Key, Camps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. In San Salvador and Rim Key, 74 degrees, 75 in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, 77, Ackland, 77, Matthewtown, 77, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. Your boating forecast for today for all areas: southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. That low tide will take place this morning at 7:09, high tide at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your first look at weather, the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today, tonight is still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Now let's take things over to Jim Anita Swain, who is standing by with the traffic drone and the Bahamas First traffic report.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Good morning, LaDawn, and good morning, Bahamas. Especially a good morning to those of you that tune in every morning via the internet. We're coming to you live from Shirley Street and Mackey Streets. Traffic has been streaming from all areas as persons make their morning commute heading to work or maybe just finishing up a quick workout. As you can see from our drone shot, it's a beautiful Friday morning shaping up, but we want to talk to you a little bit about a traffic fatality that unfolded yesterday. Now, the accident took place on JFK, just east of the Westridge roundabout. In that accident, young 25-year-old Keyshawn Lightbourne would have been the victim of that fatality. He was the driver of a 2007 white Honda Accord vehicle where he collided with a utility pole. Now, the vehicle was a mangled wreck. It's something that traffic officials often speak about. Persons driving on the roads, we know that speed may have played a factor in the accident. Now, we could not say whether or not the victim would have been wearing his seatbelt, but traffic officials often advise and warn motorists to wear their seat belts and also not to speed on the streets. Now, that's something going into the weekend that officials are also wanting to reiterate again for motorists to not drink and drive, to wear their seat belts, and also to be attentive to what's happening on the streets. Now, traffic is continuing. Persons are taking their time to do what they need to do this morning. But just to talk a little bit to us about what's happening is, of course, Corporal DeCorey Barr of the Police Traffic Division. Good morning, Corporal Barr. Now, we were talking to motorists, at least talking to viewers, reminding them about the accident that occurred yesterday that claimed the life of that young Keyshawn Lightbourne. But what do you want to say to motorists heading into the weekend? This is Friday, the end of a long week for many of us. We don't want them drinking and driving, but what else do you want them to be mindful of?
First of all, good morning, Jamanita. Good morning, Bahamas. We first want to extend sincere and heartfelt sympathies and condolences to the family of that young individual who lost his life. That's on behalf of the Commissioner of Police and the entire Traffic Police Department. We'd want to also advise motorists going into the weekend periods to do the things that we've been asking you to do all year round, which is slow down, secure yourself by your seatbelt, drive, and do nothing else but focus on the vehicle that you're operating while you're operating that vehicle. Once you do these things, especially at speed, slow down. Once you do these things, you should have a good weekend.
Well, thank you so much. That is, of course, Corporal Decory Barr of the Police Traffic Division. We hope that you have a great weekend, but definitely be safe on the streets and whatever you opt to do. Back to you in Studio LaDawn.
Thanks a lot, Jim and Anita. Now on to our top story this morning. 29-year-old hairstylist Deidre Gibson arraigned in the magistrate's court yesterday in connection with the recent abductions of 4 children right here in the capital. She's accused of abducting the children before dropping them off at the New Providence landfill, the New Providence landfill on the Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway. Gibson was not called on to enter a plea to the child abduction charges. Bail was denied. She was remanded to the Sandilands for a psychiatric evaluation. She returns to court in May. Gibson's attorney, Howard Thompson, spoke to reporters outside of court yesterday.
My client suffered severe mental issues over the years, so much so that she has spent time in the psychiatric ward in New York. As a matter of fact, she was at the Brooksdale University Hospital, and she was recently admitted in October. Apart from that, she has no criminal history, never charged before, no sort of ill will or negativity on her part. She attempted to do something that she thought was a good deed, and unfortunately it traversed the law and she may be punished for it.
A young man died Thursday morning after the white 2007 Honda Accord he was driving along John F. Kennedy crashed into an 80-foot tall utility pole. He was a lone occupant in the 4-door sedan that reportedly clipped a preceding utility pole and then traveled more than 100 meters, ending up wrapped around another utility pole just east of the West Ridge roundabout. Police believe he is 25-year-old Kayshawn Lightborn. On the scene, Superintendent Marino Hines of the Police Traffic Division cautioned drivers, especially when driving on JFK Drive where the speed limit is 45 miles per hour.
We always advise our drivers, particularly on this thoroughfare, to wear their seatbelts and to not speed. We know that it is a long journey, it's a long thoroughfare, but we recognize that speed does not make your situation better. So we would ask that persons not drive distracted with cell phones, eating food, fixing hair, or anything may cause them to lose awareness of what they're doing as a driver.
Assistant Director of Social Services with responsibility for child protection and school welfare units, Shirley Kelly, says April is deemed Child Protection Month, and every year her team sensitizes the public on warnings, ways to report cases, and how to protect children from the various forms of abuse. Kelly says while she cannot give a ballpark figure on how many children abuse cases have been reported so far this year, she did confirm that there has been a steady increase in numbers.
The cases are referred to us initially through the school system, in the school welfare section, and also in our child protection unit through the hotline. We have a 24-hour hotline, and we also have persons through the churches, etc., who call in, and also the police. They call out and refer matters in. Bahamian people, because of the awareness of child abuse, they are actually coming into our office and letting us know what is happening with persons in their neighborhood.
And coming up after the break, we're going to check in with entertainment Ilsha. So stay close. Welcome back to the Morning Edition. Former Deputy Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Cynthia Mother Pratt, is set to be honored internationally, receiving the Nelson Mandela and Humanitarian Award, known for her outstanding work in sports and community building and making history as the first female to serve as a deputy leader in the country. Pratt was sought after by another record setter, Vera Moore, who was the first African American to receive a major role in a daytime soap opera, and also the president of Vera Moore Cosmetics, a makeup line made specifically for women of color. Also present at the announcement was Member of Parliament for Angliston, Gladys Hannah Martin. Hannah Martin explained that during the time the two worked together in government, she witnessed the true definition of a strong woman.
When you consider the origins that she just described, that she came from, one of many multiple children and a life of poverty, and to rise to that height in our country. The one thing I would say she's overlooked.
Something's fishy with our Charles Fisher. He seemed to have run into something fishy on the Potter's Key dock. Let's take a look.
Fishermen are known for telling tales about their catch, but the crew of the West Wind has the video that has been going viral to prove it. A haul of barracudas in the hundreds.
They came off the Great Bahama Banks, that's out southern part of Andros. We caught them, they were in a school, and we hauled them with the net. We caught at least about 900 barracudas in one haul, so it was a good catch.
They seem to be going fast even though people are scared of them, but these ones are good.
Yeah, these ones we caught them in a school, so plenty of people, when they hear they were in a school together, the fish normally they're not poisoned. Now, single just swimming around, they'll be a little more scared, but yeah, they're going pretty fast. And for the Easter time, plenty of people having little get-togethers, and they love their barracuda and little drinks and stuff like that, so they're selling pretty well.
Also selling pretty well is the snappers, Jacks, Margaret, and Grouper. Crewmate Conrad Young, who has been diving since completing high school, is expecting bigger sales as we get closer to the Easter holiday. Just like how the fish jumps out of the sea, sometimes customers think prices jump during this time.
Well, the price sometimes do tend to go up, but right now time's changing. The price of the fuel and what it all takes to get the fish to the market to sell for the fishermen. Well, we have to do what we have to do in order to make a living. Yeah, the price seems to be a little high, but if they know the cost that we have to go through in order to make it possible to supply the Bahamian people with the fish, well, I hope they understand it.
Us business a week before Easter.
Well, right now it's starting to pick up because people normally try to get their sales in before Easter, so they don't have that rush to come with all the traffic and the headache to come and try and look for fish. Sometimes the fish normally sold out before the Easter time, so people now starting to shop smarter. They're shopping ahead of time to try and get their product, so they'll make sure they have their fish for Easter.
Which will look good on your plate this Good Friday. Lots to choose from, and for sure, it will be tasty. For the ZNS News Network, I'm Charles Fisher.
Fisher loves his barracuda. The Bahamas National Youth Choir opened its 29th season at the Dundas Center for the Performing Arts. Jimonita Swain spoke to the choir's director about the season and what can be expected from performances that run into the weekend in this week's Catching the Feeling.
For the summer breeze, that's how we leave the world's behind. So much to see, it's got you feeling down.
This is just a taste of the talents of the Bahamas National Youth Choir, a national entity. The cultural organization kicked off its 29th spring concert season at the Dundas Center for the Performing Arts Wednesday. Choir director Dexter Fernandez says the concerts are a part of the choir's major fundraiser to defray costs to host other concerts, including those overseas. Here's what patrons can expect.
This is a really interesting program we have this year. The Motown, which we're going to give a tribute to Stevie Wonder, and then we celebrate one of our own, T-Connection. After that, we have a formula that we've come up with where we identify the different types of Bahamian music and Bahamian dance. And so we have the jumper music, the Jonkano music, we have the rake and scrape music, we have the church section of the Bahamian. So what you will see inside our performances this week is a complete picture of what it means to be Bahamian. And then we have our international section, we have our classical section.
But that's not the only musical selection that will be featured at the evening and matinee showings, which end Saturday night.
So dealing with some of our countries within the Caribbean, we have a song that is a Bahamian song, Yo, that it really comes from the Gullah-Geechee tribe that settled in Abaco. Many believe that it's a Haitian song when we sing it, but it's actually a Bahamian song. And so we still try to identify the different segments of Bahamian culture.
The choir director is hoping that as many persons as possible can patronize the event.
When we go abroad, we represent the Bahamas on the whole, not just New Providence, but all of the Family Islands. So as you are able to go away and jazz in Miami or came up to Nassau for Soca Fest, we're looking for the same support from the Bahamas that they would come up this weekend and spend some time with the National Youth Choir. This is a representation of us and what it means to be Bahamian.
you're unable to make it to any of the concerts but would still like to assist a choir, donations can be made through a GoFundMe account that's been set up or its account at First Caribbean Bank. For Catching the Feeling, Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Thanks a lot, Jimenita Entertainment. Elsha is here in studio here on the Morning Edition. Elsha, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Hi, nice to be here. Wonderful to be here.
So Elsha, talk to me a little bit about how did you all get started and what genre of music do you prefer?
I actually got started on the carnival scene when they had the Junkanoo Carnival Music Masters competition, and I entered with my best friend, maintaining all the way to the finals. And from that, it just ignited a passion for Bahamian music. So as a millennial, I want to make our music famous. I want to make Rake and Scrape and Junkanoo famous. So that's what I want.
So are you doing music full-time or part-time?
No, well, actually, I am a student at the University of the Bahamas. I'm a law student. This is my last semester. Jesus. But I plan to do music full-time as soon as I'm finished my studies. Got to make sure you have a little backup plan. But the plan is to do music full-time.
Why music?
Because, well, I come from a very musical background. My dad is the music teacher at Aquinas College. I've learned numerous of instruments and just been so surrounded with Bahamian culture that I just fell in love with it. And I want my generation as a millennial to love it as well.
So what are you going to be performing for us this morning?
I'm going to be performing 2 songs. One is I Ain't Sorry, basically saying I'm unapologetic about being Bahamian. I don't think our culture is gone. I think we have Bahamian culture just in the little things, how we care about one another. You know, that person around the corner that treats you like their daughter, that she don't have to do that, but that's a Bahamian thing. You don't find that everywhere. And then my other song is Oh You Know, just basically saying I am the future of the Bahamas. We are the future. We have the power to make our country bigger, better, greater on an international stage.
So I won't prolong your performance. Ladies and gentlemen, Elsha!
Hey! Good morning, Bahamas. Hey! But I know who I is. Hey! Nobody gotta tell me who I am. Born, bred, good dead, Bahamian. Nobody gotta tell me how to talk. You can't understand me, that's the Lord. And if I stun like this, if I squawk like that, if I move my hips, I ain't sorry, no, I ain't sorry, 'cause we know who we are. We know who we are. Ooh, yeah. I know. Hey, I ain't sorry. I ain't sorry. No, I ain't sorry. We going way down south, child. I ain't sorry. I ain't sorry. No, I ain't sorry. Nobody gotta tell me how to be. Just these slippers striking on our feet. Nobody gotta tell me culture gone, 'cause we still raking and scraping all night long. If I skull like this, if I squawk like that, if I move my hips, I ain't sorry, no, I ain't sorry, 'cause we know who we are. I know who I am. We know who we are. I know who I am. 'Cause it's the music that we vibe to, the feeling that we cling to, the culture is who we are. It's the people around the corner who treat you like their daughter. The people is who we are. It's the song that we sing, the love that we bring. It's the music, the food, our mood. If I skull like this, if I squawk like that, and
if I move my hands. Hey. Cause we know who we are. We know who we are. I don't care what you think. I know who I am. Cause it's the music that we vibe to, the feeling that we cling to, the culture is who we are. It's the people around the corner who treat you like their daughter. Them people is who we are. It's the songs that we sing, the love that we bring. It's the music, the food, our mood. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey. No, I ain't sorry. I ain't sorry. Oh no. Oh no.
Great performance there by Elisha. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition. Don't go anywhere. Sports is up next. You're watching the Morning Edition.
Good morning, it's a Friday, and welcome to your TGIF Look at Sports. The Bahamas Basketball Federation's Bunny Lavardi round robin nationals off and running at the AF Adelaide Gym. In the opener, it was the defending Division II champs out of Grand Bahama Coca-Cola Reach Out Saints taking on South Andrews Eagles. The Saints, well, they came marching in 19-15 after one and pushed that lead to 37-22 at the half. Coach Dudley said could never let up on the pressure and converted at will 47-31 after three and take the opener 55-41 thanks to 16 from Howard Hinsey and 10 from Darrell Duncombe.
We're trying to repeat. We're last year B-League champions. It took a lot for us to get here, but we were prepared. We understand we're in a tournament. We're looking forward to playing Breezes. Because we took away their nationals from them last year. So we're having a good time. It's good to be in Nassau. There's no I in team. Once we play together, and once we play team ball, I think we're going to be okay. There's a lot. They after us. We understand that. But we're here to defend. They got to take it away from us. And I'm going to take this championship back in Grand Bahama.
We started to make some simple errors, but we're going to improve as we go along in the tournament. It was our first game. We had a little bit of jitters and a little bit of hookups.
Abaco Elite giving Commonwealth buying Giants more than they can handle. Led 21-19 after one and was only down 39-38 at the half. A big third quarter by Deshaun Taylor gave the Giants a bit of a cushion, 63-55. That was the biggest lead of any team in the game. But Abaco fought back in the fourth, but falls short to the New Providence champs, 82-75. Taylor finished with a game-high 27.
It was an early game. A lot of us had to drive straight from work. You know, a lot of us worked overtime last night as well, so that probably played a little bit with the fatigue, especially in the first half when we didn't have our win. But other than that, we closed out at the end. We did a good job of making our free throws. We keyed in on their offensive rebounds, so I think we'll be better next game. I expect us to keep playing Giants ball. Other than that, we got a lot of veteran guys, so I think we'll key in on our mistakes. Other than that, we'll be fine.
Grand Bahama Division I champs GB Jim Rats had a much easier time with the Bimini Marlins. Never trailed at all in this game, leading by double digits from the first quarter, 23-10 after one. That was the closest the Marlins would ever come in this game as they trailed 58-38 after three. And in the end, it was the Jim Rats 79, Marlins 51.
We just continue to just stay patient, pass the ball to the right people, just make sure we get as much good looks as we can, and just continue to run our offense. I see the games are going that we played before. There's a lot of good competition, and I feel like as long as we play hard and give it our all, we just continue to push, be patient, have faith, just trust our teammates, and just continue to run our offense. And first of all, just put God first, and make sure just never give up on defense and just keep playing and rebound.
Let's check in on our minor league baseball players now. Lucius Fox going 1 for 3, a double, scored 2 runs, leading Montgomery by Biloxi 6-zip. Also from yesterday, Chavez Young going 1-for-4, scored a run. Also in Dunedin's Blue Jays 5-zip shutout of the Fort Myers team. And Anthony Seymour 0-for-3, scored a run in the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimps 4-3 loss to Pensacola. And that's going to do it for us. I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great weekend.
In our final look at weather, that frontal trough about to exit the southeast Bahamas, leaving behind a weak high-pressure system, which will continue to generate 1 or 2 spotty showers during the course of today. Our forecast for today, partly sunny and warm with a brief passing shower here and there, high temperature around 85 degrees. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy and pretty nice conditions. Your low temperature is just around 71 degrees. Extended weather forecast, mid-80s through the 7-day cycle, and your nighttime temperatures today will remain in the low 70s, but lots of sunshine as we head into the weekend. LaDon?
Thanks a lot, Basil. That's a wrap for us today. Have a great weekend. I'm LaDon Davis. Make sure to join us on Monday morning at 7 a.m. for more Morning Edition.
Junk on running through my bones. The music got me. Record script taking control. I got the music all in me. It's my history jamming when we hear the beat. Cause here we are with the future of our culture. I need them drums, Sean Canoe in the groove, bust a move. Play me the tom-tom, taxing to jump, we shake